good question. Are people born wicked, or do they have wickedness thrust upon them?
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting, spectacular, amazing, and uncanny stream. We have lots to talk about, but most importantly of all, we have to talk about Spider Man Brand New Day, as well as where the mutants of the MCU will be going with some casting news and rumors once again. And also, we got to talk about what the DCU will do to fire back as we finally see in the newest Lanterns trailer what we've been wanting to see forever. All that and more coming at you right now on Wow Brand New Wednesday or whatever. Greetings, travelers, whiz kids, and word players. It is Wednesday, which means it is Wow Wednesday once again. I am Wizard of Wordplay, the Wow of Wow Wednesday, and I am joined, as I am always, by he's as smooth as Tennessee whiskey and sweet as strawberry wine. It's Jessica James.
Uh, I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight because you said something about a Spider-Man movie. I hadn't heard anything about one coming out. There was a Spider-Man movie?
Uh, yes, I believe there possibly was one. Yes.
Really? Well, I'm sure it did fine. I mean, I'm sure it was okay, but sure it didn't, break any records or shatter
No, I'm
anything.
sure. I'm sure it made a pretty penny. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it probably did a little bit better than Supergirl, probably.
Probably a little bit better than Odyssey, even I'd say.
Yeah, maybe a smidge better than Odyssey.
Um, I thought you were gonna do like there was a Spider-Man movie, almost like a magic spell, made me forget all about it or something.
Um, bro, what do we even say? This
Well,
shit
we'll
was
get to
insane.
we will get to it all that and more. As like I said, probably most of the show is gonna be about Spider-Man, but not all of
Cynic,
it.
I like Supergirl too. Cynic, all right. I'm not
Yeah, I like Supergirl too. Sadly, I think that it is probably though the weakest of the movie that I watched. Um,
this
this
year.
year, yeah, but I don't know. I'll have to revisit it at the end of the year when we do our ranking because it might be bumped up. Like Mortal Kombat might be weaker. I don't know.
Hmm.
That'll be the tough one. Welcome
Hmm.
to the stream, Hyuga. Hyuga Chris. Spider-Man was amazing and Supergirl was trash, they say.
Supergirl
Uh,
wasn't trash. Supergirl was. I mean, it was all right.
it was all like it's like I don't want to say that it I don't want to call it trash, but I also could 100%. It's one of those. It's like I could 100% see why you think that. I'm not
I
gonna say that you're wrong because I could 100% see why you'd say it.
I could see someone calling it trash if they had certain expectations going into it.
Yeah, the expectations were Superman. Like that was it. That's the expectation. That's the bar.
Oh, oh, I could have told everybody and their mother it wasn't going to be as good as Superman. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Um, of the two DCU movies, sadly, it is the lowest. So, anyway, Zombie Boy is also here. Zombie Boy did not watch either. Well, just so you all are aware, we will be going full spoiler tilt on this stream. So if
Oh,
you
hell yeah.
have not seen it, then please turn off now, and you may return later when we discuss non Spider-Man related news. But
I'm going to be a little
if you
more
care about the
abrasive.
spoilers,
I'm going to be a little bit more abrasive than Wizard here, all right? If you didn't see Spider-Man Brand New Day, sit the fuck down. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. All right? But come back later when you have seen it.
come back later when you haven't seen it. Noxie is here as well, and Baki 2. And Bats, of course, here earlier with the links to follow us on all the socials. Ayuga Chris says Superman wasn't even Superman. It was Mr. Terrific featuring Superman. Oh, come on.
That's a wild
Like,
take.
Green Lantern and Hawkgirl as much like presence as Terrific. Like Terrific has like the one solo fight scene, but like, Metamorpho's got like they share it. It's fine. It's fine. And anyway, before we get into Spider-Man, as we all want to talk about, we have to talk about what we did this week very quickly. Jesker, what'd you do this week?
I went to see Spider-Man. Now move the fuck on.
All right. Well, I played more Black Flag Resynced, but
how are you liking that, by the way? I've been wanting to get your opinion as far as
it's not bad. It's not bad. I do have to do a review of it. I wanted to play more of it this week before I dropped the review, but what was there is still great because it's still Black Flag, and what is new is still kind of shitty because it's still Ubisoft. But there's pieces there that's like, okay, the new story stuff is fitting pretty well. It's the new animations don't work. Like they have a lot of the Odyssey like hands-on hip pose. They actually have patched some of those out after people kept pointing them out. They're like, the stupid hands-on hip pose, it's been in all the games since Odyssey, get rid of it. And what's actually funny is there's a moment in one of the newer missions where Edward does like a jump onto the ship and he hangs off of a thing, and it's a cool action set piece, and people discovered they used the actual motion capture from one of the missions in AC3 to do it, one of the naval missions. They just ripped the motion capture straight from it and put the new models on it, which is really funny. It's really lazy, but yeah. Anyway, that is more or less that. And I'll try to get through more of it. I mean, the world's nice and it's more expansive and everything's really good. And combat's a pain in the ass, though. Combat and stealth are definitely tougher, and combat especially is like.
Okay, when you say tougher, do you mean like in a bad way, like it's annoying, or
the stealth isn't annoying? Like it's not like, it's more like you have to untrain your brain, because the way I thought of it earlier was Black Flag, the enemies, when you would go to like a plantation, right, the enemies would be static in where they would look, and one or two of them would pace back and forth, but that was the idea, is they'd stay there. It feels like a lot of the guards in the new game, they're all of them more dynamic, and so they all have pathways that they walk and stuff. So you'll be seen by a guy you didn't know was turning to look at you more often, I feel like. And then you're like, ah, shit. And there's no like desynchronization with stealth because Ubisoft don't like forcing you to do stealth anymore, you know? So they're like, yeah, fuck it. You know, you got to fight. And so that can escalate and turn to a big problem. Or you reload a save, which it's Ubisoft's menu. It's a little bit tougher to do. You know, it's not instant. So a little bit annoying. With combat, it's like just, you know, Black Flag combat is stupid easy. Hold down B or circle, counter whatever enemy's hitting you, instantly kill them. They all attack at different times. If they attack at once, you do a double take. You know, like it's very brain dead combat. This, it's more like, okay, they're coming to hit you. You got to parry them. You got to hit the parry button. You got to do a bunch of stuff. And
so would you say that it's better because it's more challenging, or you don't like it?
I myself don't like it because it's more challenging, but not in the sense of like, oh, I want it to be brain dead. It's that it's Ubisoft trying to do what they've been doing with the RPG games, but throwing Black Flag's original combat bones on there and trying to make the system work. And I just feel like it doesn't work. The big problem that the big problem this game have that all the games don't is crowd control options. In Shadows, especially, you had the one like chain weapon that you could swing and you hit like 3 guys at once. So you could have some sort of crowd control. Odyssey, you had these special moves. Valhalla, you could swing a great sword and hit like you had options. These, you have your swords and you attack a guy one-on-one, just like in the original game, but with the combat of the RPGs where a guy is going to come at you from the side while the other guy's like shooting at you. You know, it's different. And so it's trying to learn the rhythm while trying to remember what it was like. So it's the muscle memory and just the how like I kind of wish it was more like the other thing. But we'll see as I play it more often and how it, you unlock better gear and better swords and stuff. And they do have RPG mechanics of like, oh, this one does more damage and this one has a special perk and stuff like that.
Okay, so what I'm getting is they tried to mesh old school Black Flag with modern AC combat, and sometimes they don't always work. Sometimes they don't
Yeah,
always
I've
blend
seen
together.
some people like do some cool combo videos and stuff, but I just unless I'm gonna find like a trinket or a sword that's like opens up the parry window or automatically, but something like that. But we'll see. Mainly, like I think it's just getting more comfortable with it and learning that this is what they want to do with it. I will say that one thing that they just recently patched in that I didn't know was like didn't know that I needed, but it's something that feels so like right to have, and that is they added a hood to the Mayan outfit. Look at that. Like
Ooh.
so it's like cuz that outfit I never used. I would never use it. And I think one of the problems was it just always looked weird. And thing originally too, they made his hair shorter when he'd put it on. But yeah, so they
A
added a
hood
hood,
always makes everything look cooler.
especially in Assassin's Creed games. Like we want the hood, you know.
Now,
Give us the hood.
I will say that there was something else I did do over the week.
Oh,
So I have been I hate office chairs, all right? Like computer desk chairs because they always end up squeaking and creaking, right?
mm-hmm.
All right. So I've been wanting to get me something to replace my office chair. There was this
Welcome to the
lady.
stream, Reggie.
There was this lady who got a new recliner, okay? And she was wanting to take her old recliner. And when I say old, I mean she's only had it for a couple of months, all right?
Oh, okay.
Now
Lightly used.
this thing is gray leather. It's a swivel because I needed to have something that's swiveled so I can swivel
Mm-hmm.
back and forth at my desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would with an office chair. So it swivels, it's gray leather, it's like a $900 chair. And she was going to donate it to like some kind of charity or something, right? And I asked her, I said, would you mind if I took it? And she was like, yeah, sure. I don't need it. So I now have a $900 chair, swivel leather recliner. Very nice, very fucking comfortable as my new office chair.
Nice.
And I didn't have to pay a dime for it. This thing
Look at that.
is
I'm using my
bitchin'.
free recliner. I mean, I've been using a free recliner as an office chair since I moved into this place, and so it's like, look at us. We're the two lazy boys here.
Yeah, man. Oh, this thing is so nice, dude. I freaking love it. But like I had to have something that's swiveled. And I mean, oh my god, this chair is so comfortable. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. I
mine
love it.
doesn't swivel. Mine doesn't swivel, but I usually I pop the footrest out. I run my computer through a TV anyway, so it's like I don't
Yeah,
use my
I
desk.
had to have something that swivels because like the way my setup is, it's like a corner office in the room. So like I
Mhm.
need to swivel to be able to get, in and out of, like around my desk and stuff. So I'm not stuck in the corner, like a bad boy. But
Yeah, no one
no,
puts Jessica in the corner.
nobody puts me in the corner. I'll rip your fucking face off trying to put me in the corner. Sorry, that was too aggressive. I'm sorry. This is a rated T for teen stream. My bad. But no, like I freaking love this thing, dude. It's awesome. I love this thing.
um, yeah, so I think that's really all that I got to talk about. I do still need to watch that new Avatar movie. I've been wanting to get to it. I haven't got
I've
to it
not
yet.
had a chance to watch it either.
Yeah, so hopefully next week. And also continuing, of course, X-Men 97. And I have heard some complaints about the pacing, and I've gone back and forth with it because as I pointed out, like the pacing of the original show was that breakneck fast. Like you'd literally watch a whole comic unfold in a single episode, like a whole arc end, begin and end, you know? So it's like, yeah, it was always kind of like that. But I think the problem is people just want more of the show. So it's like, yeah, like give us like, these should be like 2-parters at least, like Justice League style, like 2-parters for every little thing would be better.
Well, I think too what it is that we're so used to the streaming format where you have like an overarching thing every season.
Yeah.
And I mean that's you kind of got that sometimes in the 90s series, but for the most part it was just like boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like this slow build up to a season finale.
Yeah, it was if anything happened, it was like between 2 episodes it would just kind of carry over really quick and,
Yeah.
and it was over and then something else would happen. Like I think that was the difference is that something was always happening when you go back and watch that show. It's like first episode, we go to the mutant place, Morph is killed, boom, Wolverine leaves. Like okay, Sinister attacks, boom, and it was just like it was just like everything was just kept, and there was never a pause. It was like let me breathe here, man. It's like no,
Yeah, people aren't used to this format of storytelling. And I mean, even sometimes I have to admit that there's times that I'm watching it and I find it jarring, even though I grew up with the 90s series. But I kind of like in my head, because I grew up watching it like day after day after day on Fox, to me, like the whole thing kind of just blends together as one big story.
yeah.
Whereas now that I'm watching like the 97 series, the new one, I do kind of notice that sometimes it is a little bit jarring because I'm not used to it. I'm used to how most shows are today, where it's like
and I
an
think
overarching
too is
story building up to a season finale.
we're having modern writers write in an old-fashioned style, and so I feel like that's why it feels like we're missing pieces to it. Whereas in the old show, it was like dumbed down enough where it was like, yeah, it didn't matter, right? Like, yeah, it's just keep moving forward and we're just telling the story. Here you go, boom.
Right.
Stay tuned for, like Lizzie McGuire right after this, right? Or whatever, right? Like it would be like just breakneck pace, right? But then now it's like, okay, you're gonna sit, you're gonna watch it, and like, okay, and then it's like, yeah, but where are we building towards, kind of thing. Like you only got 8 episodes. Back in the day, you had like 20 something. All right, for the same amount of time, like 22-minute episodes. You only get 8.
Which again, I said it last week. I'm gonna say it this week. I don't know why everybody decided to go for this 8-episode bullshit. What is about the number 8 that's so damn magical? I don't get it. If you can tell a story in 8 22-minute episodes, you could just make a movie.
Or if you can tell a story in 8 episodes, then make however many more. Do 13.
Yes. Or do 20.
And
I think 20 is the magic number.
13 was usually the syndication number because if you've got 13 episodes, then you unlock syndication. And so that's what most like first seasons were built off of, and then it went up to 26 or whatever. But I'd say 13 is good because then it would give us more time with everyone. Like we're already like, so have you seen all of them up to the newest one or of this season
of X-Men?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like we kind of went through the whole Gambit arc a little bit too fast, I feel.
Yes. Dude, are we talking spoilers?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, yeah, the whole Gambit coming back thing. I wanted to sit with that a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like, okay, we're here, we're doing this now. Here's Gambit. Woo! And it's like, no. Give me like 2-3 episodes to sit with this, man.
Yeah, that should have been like a 2-parter, and then we should have I don't know what they're gonna, because they got like 2 more episodes left. I don't know what they're gonna build towards.
I have no idea.
That should have been the finale. Like the battle with Gambit should have been the finale, and you should have stayed as Death at the end of the season, and then we dealt with it next season.
You killed him in the last season.
Yeah.
Like I agree. I think like having him come back, because that was a big fucking deal last season.
Yeah, it was one of the best episodes.
Having him coming back I think should have been like that whole storyline. Yeah, I think it should have been the season finale.
Yeah, and then he should have, like I said, stayed as like and I don't like I said I don't know what they're building towards, and if it were to have all the horsemen or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like he still has gone and done his own thing. They fight him one time, they're like, oh Remy, whatever, and then he breaks away, he beats them, whatever, and then he goes to get the Assassins Guild and the Thieves Guild and corrupts them, and then he does his whole plot, and then we get into the actual like final battle with him in the finale, and then either turn him or keep him, but like something with it better than just being like, okay, we made him death because he was death in the comics, here you go. And then it's like, didn't give him any of his costume, any of it. They just palette swapped him, which was lame. If this was the original TV show, they would have given him a whole ass palette swap.
Do you know why they would have given him the whole ass palette swap?
Because they hand drew everything,
so they could sell toys and make more.
Yeah, they
money.
sell toys, exactly. Yeah. But I think it was because it's being a 3D show with 3D models, they could just be like, all right, change the colors, and there you go, it's done. It's like, could have just even lengthened the
Spray
hair
paint
to the
this
long
bitch.
white hair. Like
They just said spray
long
paint
white
this
hair is
bitch.
iconic. So, and then like I said, it's just kind of like meh. Like hopefully we get more of it, maybe, but it's just like one episode, and it's like, oh, okay. Like I feel like even the 90s show wouldn't have done that. Like Dark Phoenix
No.
Saga, if you go back and watch the Phoenix Saga, it's like 4 episodes or more, and then Dark Phoenix is like 4 or 5. Like they spend time on that shit.
No, the Gambit coming back should have been at least bare minimum a 2-parter, and I think it honestly should have been a 2-parter season finale for this season.
Yeah, and honest, like I liked the 2-parter that we got in the past. That was good. I loved the X-Force episode is still my number 1 episode of this season.
Are you talking about the ancient Egypt stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit's awesome.
Yeah, and that was the only 2-parter that we got. And like I said, then the X-Force episode number 2, episode 2 was the best episode of the season. It was on par with like episode 1 of season 1 as being like, this is just like fucking great. We got that, and then we kind of like the Weapon X episode. I understand why they did it. I feel now at this point it was totally unnecessary.
I do kind of wish they would take a little more from modern structure as far as shows go, to where they do kind of have like which I mean, I guess they do to a certain extent because it is all focused around Apocalypse.
Yeah,
but
we're still obviously that is the plot and that is the final, and we have X Factor and X Force doing their own thing in the background.
Right. But I mean, like honest to God, if they wanted to, they could have made this entire season about the ancient Egypt stuff.
Yeah. Like, or they could have, or like what the 90s show used to do with when Charles and Eric were stuck in the Savage Land, is they would spend like 20 or like it would spend like 19 minutes or whatever, right? In the actual episode going whatever X-Men bullshit, and then at the very end it would show, and here's what's going on in the Savage Land, right? Yeah. So if they could do more like storytelling in that way, that would help kind of break up the whole like, oh, now we're, let's see what Wolverine going back to Canada could have been those little bite-sized bites instead of the whole episode. Which I didn't hate the episode, it just felt like it distracted from what could be. And we'll see with these last 2 how they bring it all together. And then maybe because the finale of last season was a 2-part finale, so we'll probably get that again. It'll be a part 1, part 2, so maybe it'll tie it all together. But we'll just see how it goes.
I hope so, because right now my biggest problem with the show is the pacing. I think it makes some of the storytelling, like the flow of the story, is kind of janky. Because of the pacing.
It's missing. It's like I want more of it, and then there's stuff where it's like I feel unsatisfied in each passing episode.
Yeah,
and I'm missing something. Like I'm not feeling whole after this episode's done. So, like I said, we'll see how they bring it back, and we'll see. It could have been a problem of classic season 2 issues of we didn't expect we were going to get one. So we kind of had some ideas we wanted to do. So we kind of did them all at once. We were like, well, we want to put the claws back in Wolverine. So let's do that. And we want to go to ancient Egypt and do that. So let's do that. Oh, we also want to do Gambit as death too. So let's do that. We also want to do whatever this X-Force and X-Factor, right? So let's do that too. And, and who knows what. So,
but they do know at this point that they're getting more seasons.
Yeah. I mean, we're up to, I think, like I've said, I think they said like 5. So what?
Oh, wow. Oh,
I think they've renewed. I think they've renewed up to 4, and I think I think they did mention a 5 at one point. But.
Okay, I knew about 4. I didn't know about 5. Oh, okay. So maybe since they know that they've got 3 more seasons at least, maybe they can flesh this out. I think they need to add more episodes. Like 8 episodes is not enough.
Give good us number 10 at the least.
10 at the least. I'm kind of leaning towards 12.
If you're gonna do 12, then do 13. But
I guess, but I'm one of those. So maybe I got a little bit of OCT, I guess, but to me it's like, like you got like 6 episodes for the first half, 6 episodes for the second half. You get that mid-season finale. Like I come from my old school AMC shit. All right.
Yeah.
That's how my brain works. I mean,
like
you gotta have your mid-season
at least with
finale.
13, you get your 1 episode premiere and then or whatever. But like do more 2-parters because the 2-parters are good. It lets you live in the arc longer than just being like one and done. Okay, boob, done right here. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I have heard that there's a lot of complaints with this season is to do with the pacing. There's not everyone being like, this season sucks, it's trash, nothing like that. But it's more just like, you guys gotta figure this out. So hopefully they get that sorted.
Or maybe they can have episode 13 be the beach episode.
Yeah, the beach episode. Fucking X-Men would make a great show to have the beach episode.
Really would.
Like they're like the swimsuit issues, I think, became a thing really because of like X-Men stuff, or at least they like popularized it like that. The picture of them all by the pool, Psylocke, I think, was the one front and center in her bikini and stuff. Famous art, but anyway, yeah. So otherwise, like, they're Noxie's wondering if Undead Gambit would be in the Tokon. They did say that they're apparently going to announce a new character, even though the roster's done. They're like, hey, we got a surprise, which I assume is
Gambit's
just
not in there yet, is he?
No, he's a background cameo in the X-Men.
Oh yeah, fuck it, put Gambit in there.
He might not be in it though, but he hasn't been in a fighting game since X-Men versus Street Fighter, so it's been a long time since he's been in something. But no, so they did say that they're adding another. Or there's a secret character or whatever, but I think it's just the boss, the champion guy, because it's the fighting game. You gotta have the boss character.
Yeah, you gotta have Shao Kahn.
You gotta have Shao Kahn and Bison and all that stuff. So, anyway, that is our weeks. Now getting to what we all were looking and waiting for, I'm sure. And that's the massive success and quality that is Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yo, man, that is fucking crazy. I couldn't believe it, dude. 360 million domestically, almost $1 billion in its opening weekend.
And I think it's hit $1 billion. It hit $1 billion now.
Wait, it did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I saw
I thought I saw it was like 960 something, but okay.
I thought that it was because it was like all the Marvel movies that hit $1 billion after Endgame, and it was like Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man and something else. Let me look it up.
Dude, I want you to think about Tom Holland, because remember, Tom Holland and Zendaya are married in real life.
$1.155 billion worldwide.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Let me ask you this. Do you think after this coming weekend, do you think it could already hit the 2 billion mark
Oh, I don't know.
that quick?
Yeah, in just 7 days. It's the highest grossing movie of the year.
That is I I mean, we all knew this movie was going to do bonkers. But holy fuck, man. Like, and think about Tom Holland and Zendaya, dude. Like they were just in the Odyssey, which did really
Just in the Odyssey.
yeah, which was did really fucking well. And then they were in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which has blown everything out of the fucking water. This has, dude, it's been raining dollars for both of them this summer.
Yeah.
That is insane, dude. I'm just I knew the movie was gonna do great, but holy shit. Do you think Tom Holland's got to be like, I think I got another 2 or 3 films in me. I think I could. I mean, shit.
I mean, I think he said now that he's like, he had mentioned before, like, oh yeah, I want to pass the baton. But now it's like, nah, I'm willing to do like, yeah, like you said, he's willing to do
that.
many more.
Oh yeah. I definitely
welcome Victor says Peter found a new redhead to replace MJ. No, they have a pure sibling dynamic.
Now I will say, like, I thought the reveal of Sadie Sink's character being a female variant of Harry Osborn known as Harriet Osborn, I thought that was actually quite clever.
That was very good.
That was excellent.
However, the moment that she becomes the Green Goblin, because they cannot do a Harry story without becoming the Green Goblin, was very contrived. And
yeah, but I don't think it was as bad as what they did in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And
you like that movie.
I like the ending of that movie.
Didn't you say that you liked the Goblin story of that movie, though?
Okay, I like the Goblin design.
I think you're backtracking a lot more than what you
No. I like the Goblin design. Like, I'm not like I do like that Goblin. I know people hate it, but I'm like, no, like, it shows like the desperation that has driven Harry to madness. Like, that's exemplified in that Goblin design. Like that, that's why I like it. But no, I thought like having Harriet Osborn being played by Sadie Sink, I mean, it was great, man. Like, that whole Jean Grey speculation was an awesome red herring, because I never thought they would do a female Harry Osborn. I mean, that was absolutely just, masterclass right there.
Yeah, if you I recently shared on Twitter the video that we did where we first discussed when Sadie Sink was cast on like who she would be playing. And if you remember, we were saying like Firestar. I remember that was what I was pushing for, because I thought it'd be an interesting like oh yeah, bring Firestar in. That's cool. And like some people were saying like MJ variant, but then you have brilliant and friend, we all love him, Samurai Snowman, who said like, that bitch is not Jean Grey. Like, no fucking way.
Well,
turns out the original story was right all along. But what I had almost had, so the worst kept secret in Marvel movie history, right? And that so much that I feel like they were sending out fake rumors to like poison it. But poor Sadie had to keep that a secret the whole time in the whole press release, despite everyone knowing it. Everyone knew it. There was a couple of moments where like, could they not? Like I had heard one where they were like, oh, maybe she's playing Rachel Summers, Jean and Cyclops' kid, who was displaced into the timeline like Cable was, but in like a different way. And so she's the displaced Rachel Summers from the Fox movie timeline. I was like, that's actually pretty interesting. They're probably not doing it, but I like that idea. But what I was going to talk about, and you said you wanted to remain unspoiled at the time, so I didn't show it, was that it was actually spoiled by Steve Lacy, who's a music guy, I believe, who said it on the red carpet.
All the characters in the film you're aware of, and without spoiling anything, who is your favorite or who are you most excited to see?
You know what? Jean. I like Jean.
Okay.
She's the villain, but like, there's a reason to her madness.
Okay.
You dumb,
Like-
stupid motherfucker.
Like exclusively in theaters July 31st. This tweet was posted July 27th.
This guy, you know what it was. He was sitting there in a daze. He wasn't really paying attention to this interview. And he was just like, Gene. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. Do you?
And like why not say, oh, Peter, his arc is really interesting. Anything, right? Like, be like, did you not know that sadly he was found dead by suicide with 6 bullets to the back? You know, so yeah.
I was about to say, like, what the fuck do you think the House of Mouse did to him after this?
Yeah, he will never work in this industry again. That's for damn sure.
Oh, you cocksucker! You're gonna get it now. Oh.
But the problem is too with this is, like I said, this was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Like everyone knew it, and they of course had to keep it a secret, which is good on them, because to be fair, a lot of people are gonna go. Like there were a couple people in my theater that didn't know, and so they had a little bit of a pop. You know, a little pop happen.
No, I remember like when Peter discovers that the telepath is Jean Grey. Like there was several rows of people that went, like,
Yeah. And a couple of it was like I feel like older guys or whatever that were just more like they hadn't seen much going into it. Maybe saw the trailer and they saw it and they were just like, oh, you know, like that's real cool, you know. But not a big like major moment. But it's also, I did see that I think the reveal happened in the wrong spot. And they had it where, you know, she's in the office as she's talking to the guy on the walkie-talkie. That was the way she says, "My name's Jean Grey," right? And she said it like that. Should have been the moment they revealed it. Would have been.
I kind of agree.
Would have been better placed.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think you're right. Now, me personally, when I was sitting in the theater and the reveal happened, I was just sitting there and I was just like, "Oh, of course it's Jean Grey." Like.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody suspected it was Jean Grey. Like everything pointed to it being Jean Grey. So I didn't have that moment of like, oh my God, Jean Grey. I didn't see that coming.
The way they could have done it is that there's like a Spider-Man villain called like the Mind Worm or something like that. If they would have just been at the full front, been like, yeah, she's playing the Mind Worm, right? And like digitally edited her hair. I mean, they showed her face, but like anything, like had her like wear a wig, dye her hair, whatever, and like press release anything, right? To like fuck with us and be like, she's not Jean Grey, can't do that. Or like legally, like leak a story where legally there's not allowed to be X-Men characters in the Sony movie or something, right? Like throw off the set and have that moment where it's like Jean Grey. It's like, oh my God, you know, lie to us, damn it. That's what I want. Hide your spoilers with lies. You know, that's the way to do it. I've talked about that. I wish they would have done that with No Way Home, where in the trailer for the 3 Spider-Man, you see like it's Tom in the original homemade suit, and then it's Tom in the Civil War suit, and then Tom in the Iron Spider suit. And so it's like, oh, like he's fighting like timeline versions of himself from the past movies or something like that, right? Like he's always fighting with himself from the other movies. And he's fighting Vulture and Mysterio. He's not fighting the guys from the Raimi movies. Come on, you know, and then reveal it. And you're like, oh my God, like they kept it a secret. How crazy, you know, something like that would have been really cool. So,
yeah.
Lie to us, Sony.
But no, I will say, like, I really like Jean in this movie.
Yeah, she was good. She does some messed up shit.
Dude, I don't care what anybody says. The old man that she possessed that got ran over by the car, that dude is dead. That man is dead. He is dead, man. He is as dead as Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He is fucking dead.
Yeah,
She murdered that man.
apparently he appears in the end credits, but otherwise, like, yeah, that man is
No
dead.
fucking way. When?
In the montage of like, this is New York, like that, those pictures or whatever, those slides. There's a bearded guy that looks like the same guy, I guess, but they did say that no one died. So
there is no gosh darn way that this motherfucker, he is a regular ass human. There's no way that. Did you see how fast that car hit him?
New York, you get hit by a car all the time. But
you're full of shit.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been a dude in New York.
I don't know. I've never been hit by a car. It's like,
I've never been hit by a car. He flipped over the car. He's all right. He didn't get run over.
He's
got
dead.
hit into.
He's
fine.
He's dead.
Might not walk again, but he lived.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's I mean, I can suspend my disbelief on a lot of shit. All right, there's ridiculous, bro. That man is dead.
I will say commends to Marvel and the writing team. I did not know Jean had a dead sister. That is a comic thing. I did not know it.
It's a yeah. Now she's not like a prominent character. Yeah, she's not like a prominent.
She's in from what I read 5 issues.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, she's not a prominent character. I knew that she had a sister before this. I didn't really know that much about her. I just knew that she has a sister, and that basically she exists. I didn't even know what her name was.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to learn more about her afterwards too, but I did know that she did have a sister.
But yeah, so I thought that that whole thing was done fairly well. The reveal, the twist, the suspense on what the VMAX thing was, I thought was good.
That was very good.
The whole like unlocking the because I was like, where the fuck is her telekinesis? Like, where's that at? Like, she's doing just mind stuff the whole time. She's not doing telekinesis. And then her unlocking it. I will say another thing that should be noted for future appearances, give a different color tint to her telekinesis, like blue or pink, as people really like the pink for Jean Grey powers, and I do get it, but obviously blue is what the X-Men show does, because it just being the light refracting clear is the same look as Sue's powers from Fantastic Four, so a little bit of a change there needs to be done, but overall not bad. I did see an edit that made it look pink, and it looked pretty good. Made everything pink, on the screen. And I thought that looked better than just the frozen light refracting like rainbows. So, because that's what Sue does, when she uses her force powers. So one of them's gonna have to change.
Yeah, no, I thought that whole thing was really well done, like the whole VMAX, because the whole time I'm sitting there in the theater and I'm just like, VMAX, like,
yeah,
am I supposed to know what that is? Like, I'm sitting there trying to think, like, has that ever been a thing in the comics?
Is it a drug or something? Like it's what?
Yeah, because I was starting to think, okay, we've got Jean. Maybe it's something to do with some kind of Sentinel program, or like, but it being just the fucking air ventilator. And
yeah,
it's first of all, that was really fucking sad. That was the
it's
last
like literally
thing
her last thing that she ever could get out, the second before she died or whatever, last thing she saw.
That is really fucking sad. Now, the group that kidnapped her and kidnapped Jean, the leader of that group, is he from the comics?
Oh, I don't know. I assume it's a damage control related guy, but I haven't. It's not like a Trask or an Essex or anything.
Well, see, like I was thinking, because there was like some talk going into this, like that the Jackal might be a villain. Yeah, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, no, this guy doesn't have the. I can't remember the Jackal's name off the top of my head, but I was like, that name doesn't sound familiar though. So I was like, could it be the Jackal? Maybe because like in the comics, the Jackal has like this obsession
Clone.
with the. Well, I was actually thinking about his obsession with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe they're doing a version of that, but he's obsessed with Jean Grey.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who the fuck that guy is.
Yeah, unless they're like using it to set up more mutant stuff later, but
Which I'm sure they are.
yeah. No, so I think it was the Portuguese dub. I saw a clip of it. I obviously don't understand Portuguese, so I'm just gonna take their word for it. But apparently when she yells like my sister died in this room, she goes, my sister died in this fucking room. And I'm like, oh man, that would have been so much better if she would have yelled that. Like dropped the PG-13 F-bomb. Like you get one, use it. Guardians used it apparently. I still haven't seen it yet, but I saw a clip of it.
Everybody gets one.
Guardians 3 dropped the first MCU F-bomb. But no, so overall, Jean Grey, like, yeah, I think she was good. I think that she literally made Peter breathe. That's what she was doing at the end of the thing before he woke up. She was in his mind making him breathe. Like, that's so good.
It's like you know the character's powers and you're using it for like really unique shit. And it's like,
yeah,
yes, that's what we want. That's good shit.
So yeah, just that whole thing was great. I look forward to seeing more of her. I kind of want MCU X-Men like now. They give it to me now. I don't want to have to wait till Secret Wars because she can be back in Secret Wars. Like, give it to me now. But we'll get more into that later after we're done talking about. But then overall, so off of Jean Grey, I guess Spider-Man, like this, Tom has really hit his stride with Spider-Man. Everything about this, Peter, was just amazing. Like, I saw a thing, he spends most of his time in the suit, which is crazy.
Yep.
And because that's Spider-Man. He's going to be in that suit. He can't show his face, and so good. I have a thing here. We never did get the chance to talk about it, but apparently they used a lot of the video game stuff, and seeing this, it's like, oh my God, you can just straight up see it. Like,
oh yeah,
done it. And I noticed it in the beginning montage. I don't know if this has it, but the impact webbing, basically, where he like webs up guys immediately in the very opening. There was a lot of that in there. So like, this is a lot of the choreography, a lot of the swinging. The Hulk slam is crazy. I didn't even catch that. But this is what the Lizard does in the second game. He slams him and then he throws him. Like, that's nuts. Almost to like a lazy degree, but you know what? Like, fine, fuck it. Like, just do it.
No, I'm glad we got to see it in movie form. Like, that's really awesome.
Yeah, he is moving like no Spider-Man has moved before. No. I mean, like, there is one scene of like Tobey Spider-Man CGI bouncing off a bunch of goons before he takes his first picture, but otherwise, like, just everything else.
Bro, honest to God, man, like, I was watching this movie and just something about like the color tones, just the way it looks, the way the camera's used, just like the whole atmosphere of this thing was just perfect. I mean, it was just, there wasn't a scene in this where I was like, something seems off about this. No, it all just looked right. You know what
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it immersed you.
Yeah.
It was a really good looking movie. And this suit, the suit that he has in this movie, I think is probably the best Spider-Man suit we've ever got.
Oh, it 100% is. When you go into the fact of like what it looks like, what the material's like, everything to do with that, but also the fact that it is the most comic accurate suit we've gotten out of any comic book superhero in the MCU, if not all of superhero movies.
Yes.
Besides, like, since Christopher Reeve's damn Superman suit, you know, like this is the most comic accurate suit I've ever seen. And
And
even to the like one of the tricks that they do is like when they find a way to see Peter's eyes through the lens. And there was an interview where Tom was talking about that was a mistake that they found while they were filming. That if they filmed it at a certain angle, you could see his eyes underneath. And they were like, well, should we CGI it out? And they go, no, let's use it. And there's a scene where it works really well. And I remember watching, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You can see his eye underneath it, you know, like that kind of stuff. That's so cool.
Bro, not even just the look, but okay. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what episode it was, but I know I've said on this show before that, in my opinion, Tobey Maguire has the best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield has the best Spider-Man. And for the longest, Tom just felt like Iron Boy.
Yeah, that was the big criticism. He was Iron Boy.
And I said one of the things I loved about No Way Home is that for the first time, Tom felt like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They build off of what No Way Home did for the character. Like, not just in terms of the story, but just in terms of making him feel like Spider-Man. And I have said, like, somewhere between Tobey's Peter Parker and Andrew's Spider-Man, there's a blend somewhere that's going to give us, like, the best live-action Spider-Man. And we've not seen it yet. Coming out of this movie, I think we've got it.
Yeah, I honestly, like, walked out of this. I'm going, like, this is honestly... It dethroned Spider-Man 2.
Okay, see, I thought I was going to be the one with the controversial opinion, because I went back and forth about this over the weekend, and I still think No Way Home is my favorite Spider-Man movie, because to me, No Way Home dethroned Spider-Man 2. I would still probably put No Way Home as...
I'd put No Way Home above Spider-Man 2, but at the same vein, I can't count No Way Home as, like... I've always talked about, like, if you need a bunch of research to watch something like that, you can't. It's a big payoff. It's a big respect send off, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, it's like it's off to the side. If I was going to do a personal ranking, it's up high. But if you're going to be like, this is if I'm talking about it at work, right, and I go in like, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever, be like, well, technically the one that requires years of build up and a bunch of nostalgia is the best one ever. But I'll say I think this is better than No Way Home.
I'm not going to go that far, but I will say that this movie is above Spider-Man 2.
And the reason why
I went back and forth about that all week, and I was like, well, is it though? And I was like, yeah, I think it is, because and what decided it for me, the reason why I think this is better than Spider-Man 2 is that I think that they understood the character of Peter Parker and Spider-Man better than any other film has. And what I mean by that is this. You see Peter Parker suffer a lot. I mean, he struggles a lot in this movie with his relationships. Mentally, with his relationships, with just trying to get by, and all the while dealing with all of his personal shit. He's got to be a superhero. He's got to be Spider-Man on top of that.
He's got to deal with a threat that he can't see, and
you see that conflict between being a hero and just being Peter Parker, in that balancing act. And like throughout this whole movie, man, like he's marching up to that edge of breaking, but he never does. You know what I mean? Like, he walks that line, but he pulls it back, and at the end, he's like, I'm both. I'm Spider-Man and I'm Peter Parker. And that is so true to the comics, man. Because, it's turned into kind of a meme these days, but everybody knows, like, Peter Parker always suffers, man. And I don't think he
can't win. Yeah.
I don't think any movie has ever captured that as well as Brand New Day. And when I sat down and thought about that, I was like, yeah, I think this beats Spider-Man 2. Just because it got the character right.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 I love, but that is 90% because of Alfred Molina Doc Ock. Let's be honest. But when you go back and watch it, a lot of times you notice a lot of that Raimi cheese. Like there's a bit of some cheese to those Raimi movies. A lot of people like, but sometimes it's sometimes cheese is good, other times it's not. A lot of cheese is bad.
I don't hold it against it though, because that was just the era that it came out in.
No, but when you stack it up against like a movie like this, then it's like, okay, one is more palatable in modern times than the other. But regardless, I find that the losing of the powers thing kind of drags it a bit. There's a lot of stuff where it's like, like not all the movie is the train scene. The train scene's still great, but there's just overall, maybe it's recency bias, because I gassed up No Way Home a lot when it came out. And then I've softened on it a lot since, where I appreciate the nostalgia stuff, but there's a lot of like MCU direction stuff that's a little bit weird. Like the big one is the moment where Andrew Garfield and Toby walk out of their portals, and there's a pause where the audience is meant to cheer in the theater. So like no one does anything. So it's like pointing that out is what makes you go like Deadpool and Wolverine do it too. And it's like, okay, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we doing that? So there's those moments where I'm like, that kind of sours me a bit. Plus the whole, like, it has some lingering Iron Boy stuff that it's like, like building off of Far From Home with the nano suit and all that kind of stuff. But then when they finally, and with the extra Doctor Strange stuff, and I love Doctor Strange, but it's not the true Spider-Man movie it could be, which is what we got with this. And that's why it's like, to me, it's above the No Way Home. Even with the nostalgia stuff, it's just, that's why if I were to rank them, they'd probably be on par. But if I were to rank them as Spider-Man movies, it's above it 100%. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody for putting this above No Way Home. And I can see why, because I do see, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, you had that moment in No Way Home where they had like all three Spider-Man really delving into, with great power comes great responsibility, and delving into what that means. And you see like the suffering and the struggle that all of them have gone through. And it's like Toby and Andrew are like, yeah, man, we get it.
Yeah.
But you can't go dark. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't give in to that despair. And he almost does when he almost kills the Green Goblin and Toby steps in and stops him.
Yeah.
But
I also find that the Toby stab was completely meaningless just for drama.
Well, yeah, they wanted everybody to be like, no, not the original one.
Yeah. But they didn't have the guts to do it,
I wouldn't have wanted them to do it. I wanted him to be happy.
No, I just wouldn't have wanted him to stab him at all. Like, it was just pointless. It was like shock value.
But like I look at that, and that was the moment where I was like, and I remember sitting in the theater, like leaning over my chair, pointing at the screen. I was like, that's it. They understand the character. That's Spider-Man. Yeah. That was the moment. That was the moment. That meeting between the three of them, that Tom went from being Iron Boy to finally being Spider-Man. I was like, now I believe it. Now I can see it.
So, what do you think, or what do you think is the plan going forward with the organic webbing that Tom gets in this? Because I have a theory, but
I mean, he keeps it. I mean, he's got it at the end, so he's got to keep it.
Well, we never see him actually use it at the end.
Wait, was that not organic webbing he was using when he was fighting the Hand?
Well, there was that. I mean, like at the end. So my theory is, after he shot and nearly died, if they find that the organic webbing doesn't test well with audiences and people prefer web shooters, as they should, they could be like, nah, I lost it after I got shot.
Yeah, I guess they could. I guess they could walk that back if they wanted to. I see what you mean. Um, I've always been of the opinion I don't mind the organic webs. I don't.
It's the problem is like how good those web shooters are in this movie, and then to take them away.
They are good.
Like-
they are very good. You
Like
get
even
to,
if there has to be like a trade off with the organic webbing, like it makes him more tired, you know, because he has to produce it in his body. Like there has to be like if they're gonna do it, give him a little something to be like, okay, I'm gonna go all out with the webs, but to reserve some energy, I'm gonna use the web cartridges.
yeah, maybe they could have it to where like he normally uses the web cartridges, but like if they ever run out, he can fall back on the organic web. However, the organic web does come at like a stamina cost.
Yeah. I think that would be a good way to do it, because then you don't. And then if a writer doesn't want to use it, they can use it, or you can just see him do it like normal, and then no one has to think about it.
I do like when he got the organic web, he was like, "Oh no, this is what Peter #1 had."
Yeah, he's like, he was cool. You could be cool. And then like the moment where he squeezes it, and he goes, and he almost throws up. That was good.
Now let me ask you this. Let's go into our boy Ned Leeds.
Everyone's favorite.
The ending scene. You think he remembers?
No. So my interpretation of that, and that's the interpretation that's been floating around, is that he connects the dots on Spider-Man is this guy Peter who I'm talking to, because remember, MJ goes Peter
MJ
or whatever,
calls
and then
him
he goes
Peter.
like,
Yeah.
and then he goes, oh, Peter is Spider-Man's name, and then but he's like, this random guy's coming up and talk to me. Now I think the handshake thing is just muscle memory, and he's just more like, what am I doing when he's doing this? And then when he goes like Peter, he's connecting that this is Spider-Man talking to me. And so then we'll now build off into when he comes around in the next movie, they've repaired a lot of the friendship. Obviously, he doesn't remember everything, but like they're friends again, quote unquote, you know, and then they can move on.
So I have a similar theory to what you were saying about them. Basically, you know, they're going to judge the audience reaction to whether they like the organic web shooters or not. I think it could be either or. I agree with you. It could be that he connected the dots with what MJ says earlier in the movie, where she lets it slip that, hey, Spider-Man is some guy named Peter, is named Peter. And he connects those dots to that scene from earlier in the movie. It could be that. But, and I want to go back to No Way Home on this, because we need to remember, Ned has magic.
Oh, don't fucking say that. I hate that bullshit. He does not have magic. The sling ring works for everyone. America Chavez is doing it at the end of Doctor Strange fucking 3 or 2 or whatever. Doctor Strange 2. The sling ring just works that way. You can make portals with it. Damn, Cassandra Nova uses the sling ring in Deadpool and Wolverine to make portals. Like it just works. The spell is in the ring. It's not in the person.
It could be that because Ned has magic, that because he obviously the handshake like a muscle memory thing, but maybe he retained that muscle memory because of the magic. So
well, I will say that there is the moment people pointed out when they do the handshake in No Way Home and Ned has the sling ring on, it sparks after they do the finger gun. So people said if they wondered if he did a spell that will like that's stupid. And it's also Occam's razor is the simplest answer, is often correct. Most like the MJ said that there's no memories in their head, right? No memories of Peter in MJ's head, right? Gene says that, right?
Yeah.
And so the rooms of Kafkal are binding and no one remembers, and it would be stupid to retcon that out. However, there's an important line that Peter says that one person still remembers. Now, we might see that one person in the movie, however, it's not specifically stated. However, I did think of another who should 100% still remember. But I'll let you speak first.
Okay. Well, I mean, Doctor Strange remembers.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he did, because he said, remember in Multiverse of Madness, which came out after No Way Home, like he says, There was like some like he literally says when he was asked about the multiverse, he says, "Oh, and there was like this thing with Spider-Man."
Yeah, that doesn't. The runes of Kafkal didn't make them forget about Spider-Man in general. They just forgot Spider-Man was Peter Parker. He just doesn't remember Spider-Man was Peter Parker.
Okay, but then why would he think that he had this whole thing with Spider-Man if he didn't know? If he didn't have a prior relationship with Spider-Man,
he knows like, oh, I used the runes of Kafkal to erase Spider-Man's. You erase the memories of like Hulk goes Spider-Man, like Banner goes like Spider-Man, like because he remembers when Spider-Man was there in the Infinity War or an Endgame and all that stuff. He knows Spider-Man was at the funeral of Tony Stark. He just doesn't remember what Peter Parker looks like. He doesn't remember Peter Parker at all. He doesn't know Spider-Man's name, but they know who Spider-Man is. Like it wasn't just like Spider-Man reappeared after the runes of Kafkal spell. They just don't remember that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Now, I did see a theory, and it's a bit of a plot hole or whatever you want to call it, that MJ should remember that Spider-Man was her boyfriend. She just doesn't remember Spider-Man's name. So I did see that people thought that she was the one that had the obsession with him because she was like, I've remembered being in love with him. Now I don't remember, and like have like some kind of thing like that. And they didn't go with that route with this. And then basically, I think the spell's going to work depending on how the writer wants to write it. It's also worth noting that when they wrote Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man wasn't out yet, and they most likely didn't watch it before they filmed it or anything. So
the problem I've got with that though is that if Banner and Strange remember that they fought alongside Spider-Man, and specifically Strange remembers he did like multiverse shit with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Don't you think he would be trying to track Spider-Man down to ask him what the fuck that was all about?
No, because he remembers that it was something they had to do to stop the, like, if you go back and watch just go back and watch the movie, and or at least the end scene or whatever, when it's like, okay, he remembers all of this, he just doesn't remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That's it. That's what the spell did. It didn't erase the whole idea of like, oh, we did this, that, and this other thing. Now, in the terms of Ned and MJ, it basically did, like I said, it depends on what the writer wants to write. Or did they forget the whole events of No Way Home, but Strange didn't? Like what was the difference? Like I don't know. We just don't know. Now, you sat down with Feige, you could maybe ask and be like, okay, what's the cutoff here? And it's one of those, I think, just superhero things where you got to just be like, okay, depending on who's writing what, someone's going to remember something in a different way. But to pull the comics into it, Spider-Man did this in the comics after Civil War. The Civil War, he takes his mask off, he reveals he's Peter Parker, right? He does this. He does the whole, like, everyone's going to forget spell. I think it was Mephisto that did it. Everyone still remembers Spider-Man. They remember teaming up with Spider-Man. They just don't know that Spider-Man's Peter Parker until he tells them again. But this was different where they erased Peter Parker from everyone's mind entirely, not just the idea that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Because that was, remember, the idea that they're like, in the original spell, that's what it was going to be. It was just, oh, everyone's going to forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, so we're just going to forget that. Now it was, everyone's going to forget Peter Parker ever existed, was the second spell. But Spider-Man still remains because otherwise you couldn't have had the movie.
Do they remember his relationship to Tony?
Most likely. Like, they just know Spider-Man was a guy that existed. And they're like, yeah, he's the hero and he was in the Avengers. And because otherwise there wouldn't be all the merchandise and stuff like that. And, they have all that stuff and they love him now because he's had like 4 years to rebuild his reputation. And also, we'll remember, Jessica, this is answered already because in the movie, Ned goes, yeah, Spider-Man saved us on our field trip in Washington, D.C. and in Europe. So they remember that he was there because they remember the other movies that happened.
Yeah, but the way I viewed it though is that, so I guess it's kind of I guess it's probably kind of a like a nominate thing, like in Kingdom Hearts, to where it's not just people forget, but their memories can be altered. So it's like in Chain of Memories, like you remember Sora believed that, like, when she started fucking around with his memories, Sora believed that Naminé was always there with him, Riku, and Kairi on Destiny Islands. Like, she altered his memories and like placed herself in his childhood memories. So I guess Strange's spell didn't only make people forget that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, or that they were ever teamed up with Spider-Man. It like took the memories and altered them.
Or it's just the
Would be more
passage of
accurate.
time. Like, remember, like in the case of the Homecoming, right? That was like 2017, and then there was the time jump after the 5 years of that, and then on top of this, right? So it's been
Right.
15 years since that happened in universe,
2017, no. Because wait a minute, when does Brand New Day take place? Because No Way Home was 2024. In the Marvel.
But remember
time.
There's a 5-year time jump in after Endgame, or after in the middle of Endgame. Remember?
Yeah, no. But No Way Home takes place in 2024 because that 2024 is the date of death on Aunt May's grave. And
this is then like I think it takes place like sliding time scale, but I think it was like 2027. I think is what I saw. That's where it takes place on.
her no, in the movie, her tombstone says 2024.
I know. I'm saying this movie. I said it takes place because it says 4 years after. It's 4 years after No Way Home. That's what I always saw. So yes, 2027 or 2028.
That's right, because Ned and MJ start at the tech school, and then by like they start there, and then like towards like we find out like it's been like they've gone through their whole time there at school, and they're about to graduate.
So 4 years.
Yeah. So there's like a time skip in the movie itself. Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's what the montage was for too,
Yeah.
And then, which, by the way, too, the montage also great. All the references to the comics great. And like I said, would go back and watch the Fantastic Four review. What did I say? I said every superhero movie needs a montage like that at the beginning to just establish character and give us villain cameos and show that they're popular. Cool. Everyone should. Superman would have been great if they would have done that. Would have been amazing. And I like Superman already, but like having something like that would have been like just throw in Titano and throw in like references to stuff you're never going to use and just be like, look, Superman has existed.
One criticism I will give the montage in this movie: Tombstone's fucking wasted.
Yeah, Tombstone's wasted. That was a good casting. I hope that he comes back in something though.
I saw him in the montage and I was like, oh, really? Like, that's all you're gonna do with them? But I'm a fan of Spectacular Spider-Man, so when I think of Tombstone, I think of that badass, big man of crime, Tombstone.
And it would be cool to see him interact with Fisk,
Oh yeah.
in like a Disney Plus show or something.
So that was kind of disappointing. I was like, oh, really? That's it?
I feel like we'll see him again in something though. He's a prominent enough actor because all the other characters were stuntmen. He's the only one that was an actual named actor.
Now, since we're talking about villains, Scorpion was basically the Rhino. Like, he was what the Rhino was to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, he's more than that.
No, I was gonna say, I was gonna. Let me give him his props. Hold on.
Let him cook.
He basically, like, what they were trying to do with Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they got it right with Scorpion in this movie. To where he's not the main villain, but he's prominent enough to where it doesn't feel like he's just wasted, or that he's just in there to be like, hey, we got this recognizable villain. It's like, no, like, he actually does play some role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's and for something that was a cameo in Homecoming, an Easter egg in Homecoming, and then a plot point set up that everyone thought they would never touch again, because remember, his major appearance is the end credits of Homecoming, right? And he's like, hey, do you know who Spider-Man is? To Vulture, and he's like, yeah, if you think I knew, you'd be dead, right? And then that obviously didn't get followed up on because Vulture was sent to the Sonyverse to die. And then obviously the whole identity of Spider-Man thing was erased. So it was like, oh, are we never going to see Scorpion again? They're like, no, here you go. Like, here he is. And he got to have a prominent role. It's like, that was nice. Like, good on him.
Yeah.
You know, and
Now-
people it got Scorpion's first appearance in live action. He got his tail and everything. And I wish he had a mask over his face, but otherwise he was good.
I hope one day, though, we do get a movie that lets him be the main villain, because there is potential there for Scorpion to be a primary villain.
Yeah, you already have like J. Jonah Jameson, and you have the Tinkerer in Homecoming. You could have easily bridged the gap and be like, yeah, I paid the Tinkerer to build a suit for this guy Matt Gargan to become Scorpion because that's what J. Jonah did.
And
So-
I forget which part of the what story it was in the comics, but there's one part like where he's trying to reform. He's trying to leave the Scorpion persona behind. He's trying to do better, and I forget what the fuck it was, but something really bad had happened to Peter, and like he just finds Scorpion and just starts beating the shit out of him. And Scorpion's trying to redeem himself. Like, Scorpion's trying to leave behind his life of crime and villainy. And Peter's just like, no, I need a fucking punching bag right now to get all this rage out. And he's like, please stop. Like, I don't want to be a villain anymore. And Peter's like, I don't give a shit. And I think, like, I think that can make such a cool plot line for a movie, to have like him trying to redeem himself. Something really fucked up happens to Peter. Peter kind of forces him back into villainy, and then later he realizes, oh shit, what have I done?
But yeah,
And,
like this Scorpion though seems more like I like stealing stuff for money, and so that's his.
Oh no, yeah, you couldn't do it with this Scorpion, but I'm saying like later on down the road when we have a different Spider-Man, I could see that being like a really good plot for a movie.
So then Punisher. This is really my first time seeing this MCU version of the Punisher, because I haven't not yet seen Daredevil season 2 or Born Again or his stuff.
Neither have I.
I've seen clips of him.
Swan, I hope everything's going to go with your mom.
I've seen clips of him through other things, but I thought that this whole character was just really, really well acted. John Bernthal was so good, and the relationship with him and Peter, for something that didn't exist, literally did not exist earlier in this, universe, but it makes you think that it did, where you're just like, yeah, like this exists. And I really wish that we would have had Daredevil in this. I hope we see Daredevil soon with Spider-Man. We have to.
I think the relationship between the Punisher and Peter, I think, works really well, because they do, like, before he shows up in the movie, they do a really good job of showing like how alone, how on the outskirts of society Peter Parker is at this point. And the Punisher is kind of in the same situation. So it makes sense that they would kind of they would kind of meet up and connect at some point during the time skip, because it's like they're kind of two lonely people who just need a little understanding. And,
well, especially with what Fisk was doing when he was mayor, which I did like catching the poster on the dumpster too, by the way, that I saw that, is that he was big anti-vigilante was his thing, and so he made a whole like task force to like hunt him down. And so that was obviously something they both would have had a vested interest in, and so that would make sense why they would know each other, at least from that and stuff like that. So overall, like the moment where he kicks in the hospital door holding him and he's there the whole time, like he puts on the mask at the end, like that was good. and him, getting to fight the Hulk. So really, let's move into the Hulk then. Really giving us our first proper use of the Hulk since from 17 when Thor Ragnarok came out.
Mhm.
Like Jesus, it's proven they could still do it, and proving that 100%, it's easy to do it. And then possibly they're going to do it more because the way that they leave it off, the nano thing's broken, and Gene has kind of maybe fucked in his head. And maybe he's got the multiple personality problem. Maybe he's going to put on a blue pinstripe suit. Maybe we're going to see old Joe fix it.
Dude, it was glorious. I mean, I really want them to do a solo Hulk movie again. Because
you can.
I mean, I was like, I loved it though. Like it I was like, yeah, man, this is the Hulk. Like this is the Hulk we want to see. This is what we want more of, dude. And so let me ask you this: the scene where Peter's trying to connect with the Hulk, and trying to get him to back off. Do you think it's possible that Strange's spell affected Banner, but it didn't affect the Hulk?
Dave Swiston. Dave is here. Welcome to the stream. Can't wait to see it all again. Yeah, I almost want to go back and watch it again. So, Jesker, in the comics, it was recently revealed, I believe in Immortal Hulk, when Spider-Man talks to the Hulk, he goes, "Thanks, Peter." He goes, "Wait, you remember me?" And he goes, "You made Banner forget. Hulk not forget." Because Hulk and Banner are two different people.
Because if I remember correctly, like he does tell the Hulk, like in that scene, he's like, "It's me, Peter."
Yeah.
And that's when the Hulk backs off.
So they either reference that the Hulk still knows, and that's who the person that Tom said is the one person that still remembers. And so that would make sense to be like, well, because if Hulk is a different personality, he's locked inside of Bruce's mind. When he's smart Hulk, that's different. That's Bruce in control.
Right.
But he's inside Bruce's mind. He was unaffected by the magic due to comic book convoluted multiple personality bullshit.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense because when Strange cast the spell, like Hulk wasn't technically there. I mean, he's inside of Banner. I get that, but he's not
there. He's not present.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't present. So it's almost like the spell would have just washed over him. Like would have just passed right over.
It would have got Bruce, but it didn't get Hulk because his brain wasn't turned on. He was locked inside Banner's mind. So that really was like, I think,
smart.
Yeah, that was their way to like reference that plot point. Or you could interpret it as Hulk was in a savage rage, but we've seen after Thor Ragnarok, well, we see it in Age of Ultron. After he wears off of Wanda's mind control, he realizes what's going on. He's like, "Oh God!" And then he punches him. And Iron Man punches him. It's Swiston, but we ever not whatever you said. But thanks for the shout out. Welcome, Dave. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like more nerd talk and nerd news, as we talk about it every Wednesday night. We just have a really packed show talking about Spider-Man because it really has been so damn good that we got to talk about everything. And we always say hi to everyone in the chat and bye before we leave. But no, so the other thing that I thought of that was like the one person who could still remember, think about Avengers Doomsday, right? The cast of Avengers Doomsday. Now, obviously, a lot of those guys haven't met Spider-Man, like the X-Men. Falcon, Wakanda, all those guys. They ain't met him. Fantastic Four ain't met him. You know who did meet him? Captain America, Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers, who was not present when the Ruins of Kafkal were done. Because he was in another Earth doing Peggy Carter stuff. Andor was an old person way later. But who we see in the Doomsday is not the old Steve Rogers. It is from what is promised. It could be a swerve, but from what is promised, it's the Steve that we know before all that stuff goes down.
That's some true ass shit. That is some true ass shit. You're right.
Thank you, Dave. I most definitely have subscribed already. Thank you. So the problem is with that, Jessica, Tom Holland's not supposed to be in Avengers Doomsday. So it's like, well, okay.
No, but he's good. I mean, he'll be in Secret Wars.
I think the way I see it is that I think everyone who's not in Doomsday is going to be in Secret Wars, and they're leading the team that has to go, because Doom's going to win at the end of Doomsday. He's going to Ultimate Alliance the shit out of that. He's going to win.
You think in a movie called Doomsday that Doom is going to win? No. Wizard, you crazy.
And so it's going to be She-Hulk and the Guardians and Spider-Man and everyone else that's not.
Can we forget She-Hulk was a thing?
Okay, so I do kind of want to do She-Hulk just with better, competent writers and good CGI. As far as like do something like, like that happens. You get like a bad start on something, and then you get somebody who knows what they're doing in charge, and you're like, oh, this is like the Russos did Captain Marvel really well. So, regardless, that's a topic for another day. Regardless, back to the Hulk. So, the way they leave everything off with the Hulk, it makes me think we could get the fractured psyche Hulk, and that the era of Professor Hulk is dead.
Oh, I definitely think it is. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think Professor Hulk, I think this was the end of it. Now, let me ask you this. Considering that they do leave his fate somewhat ambiguous, where the fuck did they take Banner?
I read people online saying they took him to a psychiatric facility, but I don't know where that was said in the movie. I don't know if it was on the news. Even though there was a news report. There was a news report like, he's been transferred to a psychiatric facility or something like that.
But where did they really?
I don't know if that's where they said it. Well, it could be damage control. Could be Ross got him. Who knows? It's probably one of those like pins that they always put in Marvel. Superhero media in general does it. You drop a little pin, little storytelling pin, and then you sometimes can branch to it. Other times you just ignore it and you just go whatever story you want to do. So it's like,
we took Banner to a psychiatric ward in Latveria.
It's like, we did if we want to have them in a Moon Knight season 2, even though they're never touching Moon Knight again, we'll do something like that. Or if we want to have him in something else, he could be there, or just psychiatric facility. Hey, I found out I have multiple personality disorder because my dad was abusive. We never talked about that before, but we're going to talk about it now.
Yeah. One of the defining fucking things about Banner's backstory. Oh, we never brought that up before, but
Yeah, let's actually explore Hulk in a She-Hulk season 2, or in a. I don't know how the rights work with
Are you crazy?
Universal. I don't know how that works for the streaming shows, because Universal owns the. For those that don't know, Universal Studios has a thing where they own the Incredible Hulk's distribution rights in all media. So that's why he has to appear in other people's movies, because if he doesn't, then Universal has to distribute it at 100%. So even if Disney makes a movie, Universal has to get the distribution, the DVD sales, all that stuff. They own that. So She-Hulk, I don't think is the same vein. So if they did like a She-Hulk movie, then the Hulk is okay. But I'm not sure how that would work. Or if it was a Hulk Disney Plus show for streaming, if that would work the same way. I have no idea. It'd be an interesting thing. Did you catch, Jesker? This had to be pointed out to me. What does Peter build that he attempts to put on to Banner?
The gene altering thing.
It is an inhibitor, right?
Yeah.
But it's specifically called a universal inhibitor. Universal has been inhibiting Hulk for years. They put in a damned fuck you to Universal in the thing.
My god.
In a similar way, how
that was intentional?
In X-Men Dark Phoenix, the last Fox X-Men movie, Jean Grey's being hunted by a task force called the MCU. I love it. All
Ooh,
these
man.
petty motherfuckers.
I mean, that's some next level pettiness shit, dude.
Like, we're gonna write you as the villain of our story. Fuck you. Oh yeah, well, you're the villain of our story. Fuck you.
But you know what? I gotta kind of respect it though. That level of pettiness, it's commendable.
Well, like Universal, right? Like they own DreamWorks, right?
Mhm.
And so what's the Shrek franchise, Jesker? It's a massive middle finger to Disney.
Yeah.
So Disney's like, you know what? Then Universal, fuck you. So it's just back and forth.
Well, I'll s- I'll say what Ham said in Toy Story 5. It's good to see them fighting again.
So yeah, otherwise, overall, I believe that's every character talked about. I will say, to briefly touch on Aunt May, I guess. It was cool to see her back. I saw her on the red carpet. I'm like, oh, Marissa Tomei's here. That's cool. I didn't know she'd be in the movie. Makes sense, but just didn't cross my mind that she would be.
I do want to talk about MJ.
MJ, yeah. So I do want to say one more thing about Aunt May. Tony Stark completely erased from this movie. Tony and Happy gone. They never mentioned Tony or Happy once. The entire movie. Just
Well,
good.
why would they? I mean,
right? Like they don't need to. It's like it's been built up. It's whatever. Move on. And so.
well, after the spell, I mean, yeah, I don't see why they would.
Yeah, so it was like yeah, it was good when people didn't forget who Tony Stark was, but
No. But I mean, like, they're not going to put the pieces together that Peter and Stark were close.
No, but they know that Spider-Man was there on Tony Stark's team during Civil War, and they know who he is. I'm just more saying, like, Peter doesn't be like, oh man, like I lost Stark. He's like, he's not talking about like, oh, when Iron Man died, I was really sad, Jean Grey. He's like, no, when Aunt May died, I was, like there was that. There's also still no mention of Uncle Ben, which people have like kind of like gone back and forth of like, oh, like what really happened to Uncle Ben? He never even dropped that. And obviously Aunt May is his Uncle Ben equivalent because obviously the deaths affected him more. We don't get to see any sign of that there's an Uncle Ben death that affected Aunt May at all. We just know at one point that he mentions in Civil War, like everything that happened with May or something like that. They've kept it very vague.
I lost my Aunt May, and I also lost my Uncle Ben Stark. Tony, my Uncle Ben Tony Stark Parker.
Like the line from the How It Should Have Ended after Tony flirting with May. How it's like, are you gonna marry my aunt? Because I'm not ready for you to be my dad, Uncle. Like, I lost my dad, Uncle Tony Stark. But no, I mean he gets referenced in the little bag, the Civil War bag. We see that, which was a good way to bring it back. But yeah, otherwise it's like, yeah, they just don't need to linger on it. It's like he had his time. Everyone's been Iron Man'd out for now. We're gonna get him right back in Doomsday in some form or fashion anyway. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so MJ, she has really, like, Zendaya acts her ass off. That rooftop scene was her best acted MJ scene that she's done, and I thought that the No Way Home last scene of hers, not in the coffee shop, but the one on the Statue of Liberty, was good. The flip that she does when she's all like, just like, oh, Peter, I remember and everything, and then she's like the evil, yes, Peter, touch her, like that, and it's like, oh my god,
dude, that was, oh my god, dude, when that happened, because I was like, oh no, they're not gonna walk this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, already. This is cheap and stupid.
I was like, I mean, part of me's like, oh yes, thank God, because Tom and obviously they're married in real life. They have great fucking chemistry, and I'm like, so part of me's like, okay, yeah, thank God. But the other part, like the writer in me is like, no, don't do that. Don't walk it back, you pussies. Don't you do that. And then she switches over to being fucking cold and callous, and I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
that was fucking creepy, dude. Holy shit.
So, a thing that was I was working the next day, and it hit me. I was like, oh my God, they referenced a meme with that scene. And I was like, I wonder if anyone's thought of this. And then I look it up, and damn it, they did. And I was mad because I was like, I was happy that I thought of it all by myself. but still. So there was a meme that someone made after the end of Far From Home, where it's after he kisses MJ, it's you're a good kisser, Peter, but also so gullible. And it's like, oh my God.
Oh,
you know, right?
no.
I've kissed Mysterio. They actually reference that though in that scene. Whether intentional or not, they do this.
Oh no. That's
So
so
people were making the joke instead of, so then it became like you're a good kisser, Parker, but also gay. You know, when it like is they edit it and make him say gay. It said so with this one they put Gene over Mysterio and goes a pedophile because people kept saying that Gene's like 16. And I'm pretty sure they say that she's 18 because
No, she's not 16. I thought she's in the same age group as Tom.
Yeah, I assumed. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know about I don't
Peter.
know how old the actress is, but
the actress is an adult, but Gene's character.
Yeah, the character I always assumed was around Peter's age.
Yeah, or at least like 18 at the youngest. Because I thought there was a line that said specifically like, oh, she's been around. Like I thought that when after they say her name and he's going through the manifesto on the laptop, he says like, oh, it's Jean, she's such and such old or whatever. But regardless, so MJ not getting back together with Spider-Man at the end of the movie. Now they might leave it open, but to that in the future. But I think they're going to give us a burn. They're going to give us an actual romance burn here.
When Jean said there is nothing about him, no memories at all, in MJ's head, that shut the door for it happening in that movie.
And MJ specifically, I went up and went to the bathroom during this scene, I'll be honest, but not the rooftop scene, the scene when she reads the letter. And she says straight up, like, I don't love you. I don't know you, you know?
Yeah. Which
that
makes
was the
sense.
straight up, like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, now you talk about cheesy, like her reading the letter and then all of a sudden remembering, like that would have been,
or just
cheesy.
being like, I don't remember it, but you're attractive, and so I'm going to be with you. You know, like that would have been like, it's stupid. And especially where they left it, where it's like, no, Spider-Man should be alone and depressed. Like people like to joke about how like we want him depressed, damn it. So there was that. Now
it's like we want him just one more bad thing happening that's going to cause him to hang himself with his own webs. All right, that's where we want Peter Parker. It's like, damn, bro.
There's the moment of so obviously where they leave off is she's not. I mean, they could fix it, whatever. So then, what do you do? Which love interest do you go with first, Jesker? And there's only one right answer.
Are you saying Jean?
No. The next movie, you got to bring in Felicia. You got to do it. It's time. It's time we get a comic accurate Black Cat. Tom Holland is in the best shape he's ever been and has slightly horny, but not as horny this movie gets with Yelena, who we didn't even talk about. But the idea of like a Black Cat that will manipulate Peter, but also like, you know, like steal stuff. And he'd be like, Felicia, don't steal stuff. And she'll be like, okay, Spider, I won't. And then, oop, I stole something. Bye. You know, like that. That would work really well for this Peter.
I could see it happening. Now, to me though, I like the rooftop scene with MJ at the end of the film, where she's like just sitting on the rooftop, because that's the one they were sitting on when they were talking about going to college, wasn't it?
Yeah, and where he also was when he has the crying scene with Toby and Andrew.
Yeah. So that to me says that she's not remembering all the stuff that happened before, but maybe she's starting to fall in love with the Peter she knows now.
I mean, yeah, but she does have a boyfriend though.
Oh, speaking of which, when I was sitting in that motherfucking theater, dude, and I saw her boyfriend, I sat up, I looked at that movie theater, and I wanted to shout out, call him Paul. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Call,
I dare you.
Call him Paul. Do it, you cowards.
name-
Do it, you
say his
pussies.
name.
Come on. Call
You
him.
name names.
Come on, Disney, you fucking cocksuckers. Call him Paul. I dare you. I fucking dare you, all right? I will
double
burn,
dare you, motherfucker.
I will burn this theater to the fucking ground, Disney. I swear to God. Like, I was, bro.
Now, I'm far enough removed from the death of Paul. Like, if it would have been his name was Paul, I would have loved it. I'd be like, hell yes.
Dude, if they, you remember how I said, like, when they did the Rey Skywalker bullshit at the end of episode 9, that I almost threw my popcorn bucket.
That was soulless. Paul, I would love the audacity of it.
I almost threw my popcorn bucket in the air. No, I swear to God, dude. If she would have looked at him and called him Paul, I would have said, fuck it. I would have thrown that fucking popcorn bucket so high up, dude. I would have said fuck it, because that you fucking
fuck it. I'm throwing my
cocksuckers.
bucket.
Yeah, you fucking cocksuckers. I thought they were. I really thought for a moment. I was like, "Oh my God, they are."
I mean, he is spiritually Paul. Like, let's be honest. He is. I mean, it could have been worse. They could have made him Flash. You know, could have brought Flash back. Which they do technically do for a funny gag.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, so let's wrap it up, this part of it. So, I guess overall, like, what's its number? What do you put in it?
One more thing, the post credit scene.
Oh yes, the post credit scene. Yes.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Is he
so
in space?
So I watched that and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I think I understand it now after reading it. I think it's a reference to Secret Wars, and I think it's telling us that Spider-Man will return in Secret Wars.
Yeah,
but not necessarily Doomsday, although Spider-Man's supposed to be in Doomsday, just not Tom Holland. But not been confirmed. But so Battle World, if they're doing it that way, or Incursion Earth or whatever, the Earth's going to literally be next to the Earth. So it could be that that's the second Earth appearing, and that's the Toby Spider-Man or whatever, and that's the Secret Wars Spider-Man that's going to be in that.
That's
movie.
what I interpreted it as, because I was like, I figured it had to be something to do with Secret Wars, or else I was thinking, is he going into space? Is he?
Yeah, I think it was like Venom, but Venom's supposed to already be there, although I think they retconned that out in Venom 3. But like, I was like, what? You know, it's just. But
yeah, I think it has to be like
Spider-Verse. Like, I was like, is this for the other movie? I was really confused.
I think you're right though. I think it has to be like the second Earth and Secret Wars Battle World. Like that's got to be it, because otherwise, I don't know what they would be referencing. I can't think of anything from the comics that they would be referencing.
I don't know if they even have a sequel plan, because they don't know where the world's going to be after Secret Wars, probably. So they're just like, yeah, let's see where the dust falls and the reboot thing and everything. And so let's see where that goes. But otherwise, I was like, I don't know if they have an idea for what could work here. So they just like, well, might as well just set up Secret Wars. Fuck it, you know, like do it that way. So, because otherwise all the other after credit scenes basically just set up the other movies, more or less. So like the other Spider-Man movies. But yeah, so I walked out of that. I was like, I just don't know what that means.
And they do say Spider-Man will return. They don't say in Doomsday.
Don't say in Doomsday. They just say will return.
To me, that's got to be Secret Wars. They just don't want to say Secret Wars.
Yeah, because they want us to be surprised, and they could have even said Jean Grey will return too, and because we know at least she's supposed to be back. But
and they probably want people to think like they are talking about Doomsday, so they can get more butts in the theater for Doomsday.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I had to wait in a line to get to this movie. I have not had to do that yet.
I didn't have to wait in a line. What time did you go?
7:00. Oh,
okay.
Not on Thursday, but on Friday.
Okay, see, I went on Thursday. As soon as I got off.
My theater didn't have Thursday.
As soon as I got off from work. But see, like my theater had like a shit ton of showings starting at like 4:00.
Yeah, mine had that too, but I think most people were just at work or they wanted to do the later showing or whatever. Like because I'm in a college town, most of the people were my age. We had to sit in this big long, we stand in a big long line. I got there literally as the last trailer finished. I was like, perfect. But what was pissing me off was I was sitting in front of, if you could believe it, somehow a British, like a pair of British children and their British dad. And these damn kids had never seen a Spider-Man movie before.
What?
And I'm like, God damn it. And it's like, and one of them acted like they never seen a damn movie before. It was just, Daddy, why is he this? Why is he that? And I'm just, and the dad's having to try to shush him up, but still haven't explained anything. I'm like, motherfucker, I know that you probably wanted to see this movie. Maybe you wanted to give the wife a break. I don't give a shit. If you're going to take the kids to the Spider-Man movie, educate them first. For God's sake.
Just show them the other ones on Disney Plus. Like, Jesus.
Like, I get, maybe it was a last minute decision. I don't know. But I'm like, try to keep them quiet. I'd buy them food, anything. Jesus. They're just every damn. And it happened for like the first hour of the movie. Then they finally shut up.
Well, I didn't have that experience, thank God. No, everybody was like, ooh and ah, and like, you know.
Yeah. Did you just get a standing ovation at the end?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Everybody stood up and clapped. Oh, it was beautiful, man.
Yeah, I've only seen that happen like I think twice. And I think it was the other Spider-Man that did it. It was after that ended, they stood up and clapped.
Yeah. This got a standing ovation. People were going crazy over this movie in my theater.
So I guess overall then, that recency bias is a thing, but not necessarily where would you rank it of the top of the year? Because that'd be harder for you. I can tell you mine straight up, very easy. This beat Hail Mary. I'm sorry, it did.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, I think this beat Hail Mary for me too.
This is number one.
Yeah, it's. I'm going over my head all the movies that have come out this year. I gotta say right now, this is probably numero uno right now.
Yeah,
because this, I mean, I really can't think of much besides just little nitpicks here or there. I can't think of anything major this movie did wrong. And I mean, like, think about it too, man. It was a 3-hour movie, but good Lord, it didn't. No, it didn't feel like it. It was so well paced.
2.5, I think. It was 2.5.
It was so well paced.
And
I left the movie theater. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I could sit here for another 30 minutes and watch this. Like, it was that damn good. Like, I would have not been angry at all.
There was never a moment where I was like, dear God, like, even with the Jean stuff, with her being locked up, I was invested because I like Jean, you know. So it'd been different if it was like a completely like random like character, a gender swap of that mind worm guy, whatever. Been complete, but because it was Jean, I'm like, Jean is this is set up. This is important, and plus it's Jean. You know her, you've seen her in all these movies, you know. And so there was gravitas to it. As you said, I can't think of anything that I would have done better besides just give some more time, maybe a little bit more to that Hulk fight, you know, maybe a little bit more in that villain montage, more with those villains. Anything else, it was like everyone acted their asses off. CGI was on point. There's practical effects in this. You know, there was a lot to do with that. And everything on point. The only thing, I guess, the only gripe is that, oh no, I mean, this, because I was going to say the tank made no sense, but then it was revealed that it was Jean controlling the old person. So it's like, oh, okay, that fit. No, yeah, I mean, I guess the only negative, it's not a problem with this movie specifically, but it's the idea of like, we still don't know the full extent of the mind erasing spell and what people do and don't remember as far as Spider-Man goes. So overall, I'm probably going to give this like a 9.8. And that's only because I would give it.
That's a random score, but okay.
I mean, like, because it's like, I don't necessarily if I'd give it a 10, but I also can't think of any reasons why I wouldn't besides just being like hesitant to give it a perfect score.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Like, I didn't want to leave the theater. I mean, I was like, boy, I just want to sit here with this world, and this New York in particular was so good. The way New York was presented here, and I want to just stay with these characters. I didn't want to leave the theater. I was like, I really want another. I could do another 30, 45 minutes of this movie, and I wouldn't complain a bit, man. It was that fucking good. Um, so I would probably give Spider-Man No Way Home like a 10 out of 10. Spider-Man 2, you know, it's got a couple of issues here or there.
Spider-Man 2, I'd give like a 8.
Oh, I wouldn't go that low. I'd give it a 9. I'd give Spider-Man 2 a 9. But when I
have to rewatch it.
The only reason I give it a 9 is because the part without his powers, it does drag a little bit.
It drags it, yeah.
But that's the only reason I'd give it a 9. But I've really because I knew we were going to talk about it on the show. I have spent every day since I saw this movie really thinking about this. Man,
I'll say that one thing I wish he would have done is that I wish he would have given the great power, great responsibility speech to Jean. Thought that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
It was maybe a little too much, but I thought that would have been wrapped up into it.
Though that's just
I know. I'm just saying that it's like that was like the one thing where I walked out where I'm like I wish that would have happened. But there's nothing else that would have been like that. I'm thinking like it was a wasted opportunity or like everything was just perfect.
I mean, that's the thing. Like every time I think of a problem the movie has, I'm always like, but that is so small. That is so nitpicky.
And I mean, we got naked Florence Pugh. I mean, like I can't fault the movie for that.
No, I couldn't either. That whole hot tub scene,
Well, and then not to mention, like with Yelena's character, when she calls back later and she finds out about Jean's story, and she reads that her sister died, she gets choked up from it because Yelena's still upset because her sister died. Like it's like, of course, like
I really wish I was in that fucking sauna.
So, just so good.
Tonight, I cannot think of anything outside of a nitpick that this film did wrong. Bro, I'm going to have to say I'm going to give this movie a 10 out of 10.
I could bump it up to a 10 if the organic webbing never comes back. But otherwise,
shut the fuck up. Fuck you and your
I like the web. I like the web shooters. I like the web shooters.
Yeah, but you can't judge this movie off of something that may or may not be a thing in the future.
I mean,
like,
it's still there. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Man, I think for me this is right there on par with No Way Home. Like it's a 10 out of 10. I think
I'd put it above No Way Home just because, like I said, No Way Home has some roughness to it. But No Way Home was also filmed during COVID, so there is that to it. A lot of the actors just aren't there at the same time with the
I'd like if we were doing a tier list, like No Way Home and Brand New Day would both be like on the top tier of Spider-Man films. It's just No Way Home I would put above Brand New Day on that tier, but they're on the same tier. They're both 10 out of 10 films.
This is the peak. This is the new peak. This is the new barometer that all other Spider-Man must be measured against. And
yeah. And like I said, bro, I always say like somewhere between Toby's Peter, that sounded wrong, Toby's Peter Parker and Andrew's Spider-Man, there was a blend of that would give us the perfect live action Spider-Man. And honest to God, walked out of the theater.
As Peter says in this movie, what does he say, Jessica?
Which part you referencing?
When it's like, are you Peter or are you Spider-Man?
Oh, I'm both.
I'm both. That's he literally tells you, Jessica, that he's like, I'm both. You want good Peter? You want good Spider-Man? I'm both.
I walked out of the theater and I was like, damn, I think they finally found that balance. I think they finally gave me what I was looking like. This is the most accurate live action portrayal of Spider-Man / Peter Parker that I think we've ever seen.
So, yeah, that's really, what more is there to say? If you have not seen it and you love superhero movies, go fucking watch it. I know we basically spoiled all of it, but the complete package is still great. And
It's
the
excellent.
presentation is great and everything.
Good Lord, if you haven't seen
I'll
this
give
movie.
one little gripe, I guess. The hand didn't need to be a part of it. I feel like, as far as like the end goes, like they could have been there for the montage, but otherwise, like, it was just kind of like there for a group battle scene, but that was it.
They need they needed the villain stooges.
Yeah, but like you had damage control already for that. You didn't need the hand. Like,
But they were part of damage control at that point.
yeah, I know. I just in general, like they're only part of damage control because they wrote them to be part of damage control. Like, it's not like they're part of it in the comics or anything.
No,
So,
but
that's
I was
just
all
that's
right
just
with
that is like, that would say is the only like really flaw I can find with the movie. Now who knows with the passage of time? Like I said, I soured on No Way Home a little bit over the course, but we'll see. I guess also like Ned isn't as bad, but them quoting Lord of the Rings at each other was a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie, but
I think this is probably the best Ned that we've seen out of all the movies.
because he wasn't overly done like I feel like he was in No Way Home.
Yeah, I think he was. I didn't have a problem with them at all in this movie.
Yeah. So overall, I guess those would be my 0.1 and my 0.1 that drops it to a 9.8. But
the 9.8 is such a weird score.
Well, I don't know if I could think of a perfectly flawless superhero movie when you really boil it down, because there's always something that it's like,
that shit comes really damn close, though.
It's the closest, probably. I would have to go back and rank every single superhero movie in existence, but gets up there. But that is our talk for Brand New Day, but we are not done. We're gonna have to squeeze a lot of these through here. But first of all, we never did get the chance to talk about it, but it's even crazier now. So the director of Brand New Day is going to be doing the live action Naruto movie. That's his next project.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Now I can't speak on that. And we don't have much time. So Jesker, really quickly, one sentence.
Don't do it. I know that the One Piece live action has surpassed all expectations. But this is supposed to be a movie, not a series. And I don't think you can encapsulate the Naruto story into a film series. I think you need to do it into a streaming series. So I don't think this is going to turn out well. Don't do it.
I guess the only thing they could do is do it like you're just telling a part of the story in a movie. Could you do that?
Not really, because it's one of those things. It's like it each arc like builds upon the last one until we get to the finale. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, so there you go. But I mean, like, the director was really good, and he was better than the previous directors that was doing these other Spider-Man movies, which is crazy because I thought he was all right, but then once you see it, it's like the way that Spider-Man moves and everything. It's like, man, can't unsee it. So yeah. Also announced or rumored or whatever, but this is on par with the Sadie Sink stuff. Emma Frost has been cast. Samara Weaving is
Excellent
the choice
cast.
to play Emma Frost in the upcoming X-Men movie.
Excellent casting.
Yeah, I mean, she's a little on the younger side than I think a lot of people expected, but blonde,
so was
tall,
Jean.
hot, like, what else can you want?
I mean, so was Jean, though.
Yeah, I just think this actress and Sadie Sink are going to be battling over Cyclops.
You fucking bitch. Fuck you. He's my man. It's like, if I was Cyclops, I'd be like, ladies, this ain't the first throuple I've been a part of.
Shout out to Hugh Jackman, who is still Wolverine. And Hugh Jackman's going to be thirsting over Sadie Sink. Jessica, how do you feel about this?
Oh, No, that's no, no.
Um,
I know, I
our
know she's at least 18, but no, no, that's still weird. No.
our clip of our reaction of the Wolverine trailer where we talk about that has got like 250 views, and I just the title is just Wolverine and Jean does not work.
I think a lot of people agree with us on that.
Yeah, especially if they are going to keep Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Which, if you look at the end of Secret Wars, Old Man Logan gets time displaced and lives on that all new, all different, and Laura becomes Wolverine. So I mean, get Daphne Keene as Laura, Wolverine, Old Man Logan. It could kind of work. I could see it. But with that, the rumor, and the only reason I'm talking about this because I've seen this talked about a lot, and I generally, if it's everywhere, you kind of got to talk about it. But I don't jump around for every single casting rumor. But Cooper Hoffman and Drew Starkey are reportedly in the running for the role of Cyclops in that same film. A source close to the reporter says Cooper Hoffman is absolutely playing Cyclops. Now, the thing is, Cooper Hoffman is the chubby guy down here, not this guy. It's this guy.
Now, see, I thought the top one looks more like Scott than the bottom one.
Yeah, but from the discussion online, it's the chubby guy.
He looks too old.
I think this is a bad picture. Let me see if I can find a better one.
Yeah, to me, he looks too old. Especially if they try and hook him up with Jean.
He's 23, so he's the same age as Satan.
He's 23.
Yeah,
dude, he looks like early 30s.
He's got a bad hairline.
He looks like he's 33.
Like, look at that. That's a bad hairline to have for that.
He looks like he's 33.
So people were basically being like, how's this fat guy gonna be Cyclops? That's no good.
It's not even that. It's just now wait a minute, hold up. Go up. The one with the gray jacket.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, now he looks younger. Why does he look younger? Is that from a few years ago?
Probably.
Because that looks more in line with what I would expect age-wise.
Wait, is he? It says following in his father's footsteps. Is he like Dustin Hoffman's kid or something?
Is he?
Is the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman? That was gonna be my second guess. He's Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid.
Now see, he looks younger there. Like that looks more in line with what I would expect from Scott's age.
Yeah.
Especially with Sadie Sink being Jean Grey.
So that is who is in the running. His birthday is close to mine, March 20th.
But the guy on top, like that looks more in line with. Again, I'm assuming they're going to have Scott and Jean hook up at some point. Like he looks closer to Sadie Sink's age.
Yeah, something about that. But we'll see what they announce and how the guy ends up looking because you can cast they've cast a chubby guy before. They cast Chris Pratt and he got like stupid shredded. So, we'll see what happens. But not. Those are the what's coming, but I'll tell you what's not coming to the MCU, Jesker, and that's the Blade movie is officially done. After just talking recently that Feige considers himself a miserable failure for not getting it off the ground. Mahershala Ali is out and says that it's never happening. Quote, "You had me under contract. They have billions of dollars. If they wanted to do the movie, we would have done the movie. I feel ready to move on from the Blade questions. Those questions are for them." And he's got a new movie coming out. He's basically just his contract's up. He never really got to play Blade, and they're moving on.
Yeah, I just don't see how they screwed this up.
It's crazy. The idea of like how they messed this up, what happened. It was so easy. It was so simple. Why did we? Why not just give the guy a sword, put him in a coat, and have him kill a vampire? For God's sake, it's not a hard problem.
Blade is an easy fucking. It's a concept that has been done over and over and over. He's a fucking vampire hunter. I mean, hello, Castlevania? Vampire hunters.
Fucking Dracula, for God's sakes, is Van Helsing.
Buffy? I mean, shit, bro. It really doesn't take a big talent to write a good script for this concept.
So, yeah. So, I mean, if they continue it going, Mahershala Ali won't be Blade. Now, that does basically show that Blade's only appearance in the MCU was a voice in Eternals that barely people have heard, because very few people have watched the movie, and even less stayed to watch the after credits. So that's all we got. Plus the What If, or the Marvel Zombies show that very few people watch, where he's the Fist of Khonshu, which is a very cool moment. Very cool use of the character. Not voiced by Mahershala Ali. It was done by a sound-alike. So he just straight up never got to play him on the screen.
I will never understand this. Honest to God, this sounds like a situation where they overthought this movie.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
We talked about it before, where it was like they wanted to do an all-female thing. They wanted to do like script after script after script of just like, oh my God, like I could write this movie right now. They're just like, just do the Blade movie for one again, and just be like, here you go. So at this point, Jessica, if you're gonna do it, what do you do? Do you get Wesley Snipes back? Like,
bro, give me 3 months and I'll get a script out for you. Give me 3 months. I'll get you a script. I can
at least the written thing, and then have the screenwriter formatted into an actual thing. But like, I could give you the plot. It's not hard. Like anything. Like vampires are putting their own blood into the street drugs and making people go become vampires, or there's a billionaire vampire guy that's like using social media influencers to create new vampires. Anything, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. There's just no excuse for this shit. There is no excuse. This is a simple fucking movie to make. It makes just no fucking sense.
So, but another casualty of the strange Marvel cancellations was Wonder Man Season 2 has been canceled. It had been renewed, I believe, before the first season aired or right after it ended. But it is no longer happening, even though I believe that the hype for or at least the press for Wonder Man was pretty well. Wonder Man was well received. I just never watched it.
I haven't seen it either.
The only part I ever saw of it besides the trailer was the end, which I thought was actually really cool. So we know in the trailers that Ben Kingsley was back as Trevor Slattery, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently the plot of that is the one director. I don't know what happens, but something happens where Wonder Man looks to be blamed for it because he's got like superpowers or whatever. And so what Trevor Slattery does is he puts on the costume of the Mandarin and does the voice, and he does the video like he did in Iron Man 3, where he's like,
"Oh, never see me."
He goes, in 1963, something was done by this guy right here, and he does like he does in Iron Man 3. So then they show him getting arrested, and they're like, "What's wrong with you, Trevor? I thought you were just a crazy actor guy." He goes, "No, I was always the Mandarin." And he basically looks at the camera and goes, "And you never saw me coming." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Okay.
Like, I almost watched it just for that. I was like, I'm gonna watch it just for that. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that. I can. That's the type of comedy I can roll with.
You know, and it's like, yeah, we swerved you, we got you, but we didn't. He's just taking the fall. But still, like, if you were a fan of Iron Man 3, there you go. You got your little reference there. So, but yeah, so Wonder Man and Blade both got canceled in the same day. I wonder what those two characters have in common. But
yeah,
not.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Would you? Let's see. Hold on a second. I got a representative from Disney to explain this for us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Uncle Remus. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My oh my, what a wonderful day.
As we said, not to be outdone, and we'll end the show with this because we've been promising it for a while, and it's the last of the Comic-Con news we really have to get through. Was the newest Lanterns trailer. Now, Lanterns is coming out, of course, this month in a couple of weeks here, or a week and a couple of days. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to watch all of this because it is just going to be out fairly soon. But there is a couple of notes, and you also don't want to see too much because you don't want to spoil it, because this does show a lot. So we do see here. I saw some clips of this. We see a lot more of like what the actual plot is, but I do want to highlight this here. Like,
how hard was that, James Gunn?
Like, or not even to get mad at James Gunn. How hard was that? People who put out the very first trailer. Like, remember when we went back and watched it? I was like, where's the fucking green? Where's the constructs? This is just two guys and a fucking. You could call this anybody. This ain't Green Lanterns doing shit. So finally, they did some action. They probably, you know what it was? CGI probably wasn't even done. That first trailer hit.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to think that, but you're probably right.
Like, they had to wait, get the CGI out here. So yeah, there was that. We have what appears to be here a manhunter.
Any species.
So we're looking at a shape-shifting alien.
Exist in the galaxy. And it could take the form of any species.
But the thing is,
I swear to God, if you steal my White Martian's idea for a Justice League film.
Well, here's the thing, Jessica. I don't think this is like, I don't know what this is. Because it could be the Martians, but this outfit doesn't match. The red and the white makes me think of the Manhunters, and that's why I said that. But I don't mean the Manhunters as in Martian Manhunters. I mean the robots, the Manhunters, the Green Lantern villains.
You mean the fucking things that the Guardians tried to put out before the Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah. No man escapes the Manhunters, right?
Oh, well, you know what? Actually, that's not a bad theory, man.
I've seen some people talk about this, and they're like, and I saw that someone said, like, DC, did you think they're called the Manhunters and that the Manhunters are related to Martian Manhunter? Like, is that what you think? That's why you have them have the shape-shifting ability? But I don't know. Like, this coat also looks like Adam Strange. Right here. Like, with the red with the white X. But Adam Strange is a human guy. So I don't know what this is about. To my knowledge, I'm the first person to actually point this out. So you heard it here first. Wow, Wednesday exclusive. Is this related somehow to the Zeta beams and everything?
It is Adam Strange, who was born as a Martian and became the prototype for the Manhunters. They're creating a composite character. There we go.
There you go.
Fuck it.
I'm surprised no one has ever tried to like bridge the gap between Adam Strange and Hugo Strange. Like make them cousins or something.
Well, thanks for giving DC that idea, jackass.
Yeah. They'll just steal. I mean, that would be good on you if you can make it compelling and interesting, because that'd be real difficult. So yeah, so that seems to be what we're going off of here. When look, we get it. Look at this.
An actual construct.
Do you resent Hal Jordan?
Like a drill of some kind. That's crazy. And then we got to see who they're talking to in the cell, the science cell.
Is that
Sinestro.
Oh shit!
Sinestro. Confirmed to be a prisoner, which means all the cool shit already happened. All the stuff you wanted to see, Hal Jordan fight Sinestro, all that shit already happened. You're not going to see it.
Maybe he's pulling the
You don't
strings.
really believe he's your backup, do you, Hal? No. Let's say what he actually is. My replacement.
So, and then look, more constructs.
Stay. In blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Oh, look at that.
Why wasn't this the first trailer?
How about a beer?
Like, yeah. I mean, from what we skipped over, it probably shows a lot of what's going to happen, because final trailers always do that. They always end up showing you more than what you expected to see, and it's like, could have been more surprised by that. But we also got a better look at Hal Jordan through the Funko Pops that are going to come out. So we actually get to see Hal in his proper costume. And on the Funko Pop, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah,
It doesn't look as brown. It doesn't look as brown as what we all saw before. It does, however, look a lot like John's outfit. If like from the Justice League cartoon, or like just how they draw him, how he has more of the black on him. And Hal usually has got the white, he's got the white gloves. But like, like this outfit. Like, it's definitely like this is what he's going to get at the end of the show and what he's going to wear in Man of Tomorrow. Because remember, Jon Stewart's supposed to be in Man of Tomorrow as well. So, yeah. I'm back interested. I was out of it for a while, but actually seeing some Green Lantern stuff in this trailer, seeing the coming to the show, I'm excited for that.
No, yeah, if this had been the first trailer, like I'd have a much higher opinion of it.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't think that CGI was done. I think they were taking their sweet ass time with it. So, yeah, that is our show. We had, can you believe it, Jessica? We went for like 2 hours talking just about Spider-Man.
It deserved it. It deserved every single second of those 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we went basically as long as the movie.
Yeah, no, it deserved it. I'd go for another 2 hours talking about that bitch.
What was
that's
our
a damn good movie.
What was our Fantastic Four stream? What was the length of that? That one we had like more, like I think Cynic was there for that. That was 2 hours and 22 minutes. So it was about the same thing, but that was, I think, all about Fantastic Four. And we did have some Secret Wars stuff. I'm scanning through the thing here. We had some other stuff in that too, but yeah. And then we had a whole stream about Brand New Day news too. I really want to do a thing where I just compile all of the times we talk about something into a long, like hours and hours long video, just to be like, yeah, every time we talked about like, oh, Sadie Sink got casted. Every time we talk about like, oh, now this new
That'd be
trailer
cool.
for Spider-Man had come out, and do like everything just in some big block. So you could literally see us like learn new things over time and change the story and get hyped or unhyped or whatever. So yeah, I want to do something like that. But anyway, that is our show. Join us next week for more exciting movie and game news, including a possible replacement for the recasted Kratos in the live action God of War show. As we talked about before, he has been recasted due to his injury, and who they got is not bad. We also have well, this one I'll actually, Jessica, I'll save that for next week. A possible Kingdom Hearts like, Jessica, the first of its kind.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So
the fan game. Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Yeah, we'll go through that. As well as who knows what we'll pick up after that. But let's say goodbye to the chat. Thank you, Baki, for being here. Good night. Thank you, Dave, for being here. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Hope you've been enjoying everything you've seen. Thank you, Swan, for being here as well. Noxie, Bats, Victor, the Lore Seeker, was here. Reggie Grandy popped in to say hi. Hyuga Chris, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Zombie Boy, as well as Cynic, was here. And I believe that was everyone. Yep. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jesker.
Of course.
We'll be back next week with more exciting nerd talk, nerd news, and nerd nostalgia right here. Same wizard time, same wizard channel. Until then, I'll see you all later.